Welcome to a talk with the County Manager. I'm Carol Bowden, Clerk to the Board of the Wayne County Board of Commissioners. And to my right, my furthest right, is our County Manager, George Wood. Hi, George.
How you doing, Carol?
I'm doing great. This is kind of bittersweet, and we'll tell everybody why in a moment. Closest to me on my right is Craig Honeycutt, currently our Assistant County Manager, but that's only for about 45 more days.
45 days, yes. 46.
46 to be exact. And that's what makes this bittersweet. George is leaving us December 31st, maybe a day or two earlier, but
Right.
We'll see how the holidays play out. George, you came here just as an interim county manager and you said, okay, I'll help you guys out for a little while. You'd retired. You didn't do that very well.
No, I didn't.
And you said, okay, I'll stay for a little longer, and it's been going on 4 years.
Almost 4 years when I finished, that's right.
Wow. And 45 days from now, can you even envision what that's going to be like?
Yeah, I haven't done it once before. It's a strange feeling, it really is, because one day you're still worrying about all the things that you worry about operating a county, and then a couple of days later, after the weekend, you don't go back to work on Monday, and that's it. But it is hard to adjust to it.
You can't just turn that switch off.
No, you really can't.
And for you especially, you're such a detailed, oriented person. There's nothing that you let get by you, so you're constantly thinking of what that next step is. And you walk out the door from Wayne County, put your keys down, you don't have to think about that. How are you going to turn it off?
It'll be difficult. I'll probably call Craig a couple of times and say, hey, I forgot to tell you about this.
Craig, you kind of expect those calls, don't you?
Very much so. So we'll look forward to it.
I'm sure. We're looking forward to the fact that you're going to step right up into a position that you're familiar with. You took the Assistant County Manager's position 8 months ago to study under George, so to speak. But you guys have known each other, first time to work with him. What's it been like?
I've never have been the assistant before, and in my 25-year career, I've always been the manager. So it's been an absolute joy to work with George, because George has taught me so much, and he's taught me where the landmines are in Wayne County. He's taught me, the different personalities of the board and the different personalities of staff, and things that are important to the community. So I really have been George's shadow for the last 9 months, and but it will make for hopefully a very smooth and easy transition, because he really has shared everything with me, and I feel like that there's nothing that's going on that I've not been read into, but it's been a lot of fun too.
Let's talk about the assets that he's left you. Department heads, the many projects going on. That's a long list of assets. But George has set the next stage for just some amazing things in Wayne County. We
really have, and I think it really does start with our department heads, and there's been a lot of changes in the last 4 years. I am coming into probably as good a situation as anybody in the state of North Carolina with respect to the existing staff that we do have. So I feel very lucky and very blessed on that. But also a lot of the different projects that we're doing, and it's 49. Is that the last
that's
list?
right.
49 is the last list that I think we saw. So we're still like an elephant. We're eating it one bite at a time. But it's been a lot of fun, but a lot of work as well. And a lot of things that George has started will really benefit not only the county government, but also the citizens of Wayne County for many, many years to come. And what a wonderful legacy he will be leaving, even in this short 4-year time frame.
I failed to mention that we're sitting in the Maxwell Center, or the Maxwell Regional Agricultural and Convention Center, but we call it the Maxwell Center for short, and that's been a baby of yours. You're going to walk away from Wayne County. You're going to come back when we do the grand opening March 1, but this is a proud moment for you.
Yeah, this is a great project. And really, Bill Pate was the spearhead for it. He was appointed to head up the agricultural committee, and the project was to get this building built.
Right.
So I give Bill a lot of credit, and I think it's fitting that he's the chairman as we're finishing this thing up. But it has, we've probably invested 2.5, maybe 3 years worth of time trying to go through the architect selection process, get the building designed. Then we went through the construction manager at risk selection process, then bidding out all of the subcontractors. We've had a very good working relationship with TA Loving on this job. I think they've had, if not one of their best, probably the best construction superintendent on this job. We can't say enough for David Lewis. He's been outstanding. So yeah, we're delighted to see this come to fruition.
And I will agree with you, David Lewis has been outstanding. I've seen many different construction projects, nothing like this.
Yeah,
This is
you know,
incredible.
for an 18-month construction period, things have gone really smoothly. He's probably the most organized construction superintendent I've ever worked with. He lays it out, he has it planned out a month in advance. He gives us a report on what he's gotten done the past month, what he's going to do the next month. You can come back the next month, and what he said he would do, he got done. And so he's just extremely organized.
That's fantastic. George, as you get ready to pass the torch, so to speak, 3 pieces of advice for Craig, what would they be? And granted, he's already been a county manager and a city manager, but you know, you've done it a little bit longer, so what would you say to him?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Craig's got 25 years of experience, so he's a well-seasoned manager. I think the first piece of advice is just be yourself, and he will be. I've worked with him now for almost 9 months. So I would say that, and just continue to keep your sense of humor, which he has a good sense of humor, as y'all all know. A little crazy at times, but overall, pretty good. But no, I think just be yourself, you know, and continue to make sound decisions, which I know he will, and just keep a sense of humor, because I think that's so critical in this job, because it's one of the best stress relievers that I know of, is just having a good sense of humor.
Without a doubt, and many people may not realize that you have a great sense of humor. It's very dry wit, but you've kept us in stitches up there, especially when that clock strikes 5 and we can all breathe sometimes on a very busy day. But you've definitely kept that a good part of managing the county and working with your staff. So
well, I appreciate that. You got to have some fun in this job. There's enough aggravations. You got to have some fun out of it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Craig, what are you looking forward to the most?
I really have. I've already experienced a lot of. Again, I've been with George, you know, really every day for the last 9 months. So, I've already kind of experienced most of everything.
Right.
I guess moving next to you in your office, to be next to your office, that's what I'm looking forward to most. So
there's a sense of humor, okay?
That is what I'm looking for most,
All
to be
right.
close to you.
I can't wait till you're close to me as well,
That's
Skippy. Promised I would get that one in there. And no, we're looking forward to having you really jump in. You've kind of stood back a little bit, watched, observed, and made a lot of notes about how Wayne County works. I mean, you come from Alamance County, or that's where you're coming from, but really Eastern North Carolina is also your home.
It is. I'm originally was born in Clinton, lived in Warsaw, and until I was in about 7th grade. So if you wanted to go out, you had to come to Wayne County. So not a lot of going out in Warsaw, but Eastern North Carolina is home, and it's been a lot of fun so far. But it really has been incredible working with George and working with the staff, and just how much we do have going on, and the dedication that everybody has to make Wayne County the best it can be. So it really is just good, down-home people doing the right things for the right reasons.
Are you excited about coming back closer to your roots?
I am. So it's been a fun 9 months, and so I get to ride around and eat more pig and work on my barbecue sauce a little bit. But yeah, it's been
We're
good.
still working on that cooker for you as well.
We will have the Craig Honeycutt Memorial Pig Cooker here at the Maxwell Center.
That's what I named it.
Yeah, that's what George named it, because that is it was already designed, the whole building was designed, so my stamp, when you see the pig cooker, that you can say that was Craig.
And there goes that sense of humor that I've talked about. Many people don't know, but I love the name of it.
Yeah.
I don't really know what we haven't covered in talking with both of you. You and I have got a lot to cover.
Yeah.
But George, is there something that you want to say?
Well, I think I agree with what Craig said earlier. I think we now have one of the best staffs in the state of North Carolina, in my opinion. I would put our group of department heads up against anybody. Everybody knows their job very well. They do it very well. They work together well as a team. I think the Board of Commissioners works together very well. We go through an annual retreat process with them that ties into the budget and the capital improvements program. So all of that bodes well for long-term planning. And Craig's not going to miss a beat because, as he said, we've worked together for 9 months. There's not been any major decision made during that time that he's not been involved with. So he's very well versed on what we have in front of us, and he's a very experienced manager. So I look for really a very, very smooth transition.
And that's not always the case. Oftentimes, one manager leaves and you bring somebody in quickly. There's not that transition period nor that learning curve that you've had
That's
by
right.
working with him. So this is kind of
It's very
extremely
good
different.
because he's hit the ground running, and you make a good point. You know, when you come in like Craig and I have done to jurisdictions without this kind of process, you really have to learn everything in that first 6 months. It's kind of like drinking from a fire hose, because while we may know county government in North Carolina, we've got to learn that county. You've got to learn the players, both internally, but also key agencies we work with, like the city, the college, the Board of Education, people like that. So Craig has the advantage. He's already met all of those people, has a good working relationship with them. Also, I think that the county has gotten along well with all of those entities. So it's not like he's stepping into a situation where we have, we're into a debate or a crisis with one of them and that sort of thing. So I think all of that bodes well for having a very smooth transition over, and that should stand him in good stead.
You agree?
Very, very much so. Most, as George said, most managers, when they come into a new community, is sink or swim. You know, here you are, good luck, and so not having the luxury of working with George or working with a seasoned manager who can kind of show you where the pitfalls are.
Right.
And that has probably been the most valuable experience that I've ever had. So, and I've learned a lot. You know, I've always have known my management style. And now working for George in the last 9 months, I've got to learn his management style. And he does some really unique things. One of the greatest things about George is if George has a question, he'll call you right then and there. George does not let anything wait. George does not let anything lie. George is very much, if I've got a question, I need an answer, I will deal with it right then and right there. And that's the way managers have to be. You know, you cannot let things linger, because if you let things linger, things fall through the cracks. So I've learned so much, not just about Wayne County, but also about how to be a better county manager in working with George.
So who's going to write all those things down for you? And
He's got them.
I've got a notebook about that thick. So,
you do. I actually see you take that around all the time.
He's a quick study.
Yes,
really
he is. Yes, he is. But, you know, like we said, and I emphasize this, Craig comes to us as a county manager. I mean,
That's
this
right.
is not new to you. You actually took a step back, so to speak, just to had the experience.
It was, and everything really worked out well. And I was in Alamance County as a county manager for 8 years, and it was time for me to look at other opportunities. And this really worked out as the location, getting back to my roots, the opportunity to work with George, the opportunity to be the assistant. The great things that we're doing here in Wayne County, this building. Alamance County would have never thought to build a building like this.
Really?
They're not the progressive leadership that Wayne County has. So it is a lot of fun to work with. It's a lot of fun to work with the school system and all the capital projects that have been done with the schools, with the community college. So it is really, it's just been an incredible amount of fun.
That's wonderful. All right, the big question. Besides all the NC State memorabilia, any big changes coming to that office?
Probably, no, my state stuff will probably, my Phillip
be the
Rivers
biggest.
autographed picture. So yeah, but probably my state stuff will be the biggest change.
Yeah, he and Allison will be getting along just fine.
Oh my gosh, there'll be so much red on that floor. I love it. I
I've
love it.
kidded Allison, I'm a Georgia fan, so when I went in after she became the finance director and she had all this red and black, I said, Allison, the color scheme's fine, but you got the wrong initial.
I love it. Well, George, I'm going to let you just talk to the camera for a moment if there's something that you want to say to Wayne County, to the department heads that you've worked with,
Oh,
to
okay.
citizens that'll see.
Well, I just want to say that Pam and I have enjoyed living here. It's been almost 4 years. It's been a great experience. I didn't plan on it when I first came over. Obviously, I was going to stay 3 or 4 months. But when I was asked to stay, I think it was a good decision to stay. And one of the reasons I did that is I felt like the place had a lot of potential. And I felt like we had a board that wanted to get a lot of things done. They've been a very active board. In fact, they've about worn Craig and I out, but they have been a very active board. And we've gotten a number of things done. As I said before, we've made some changes, but overall, I think we've got a great management staff now, and I want to thank them for all the hard work they put in to make everything work and to make these improvements. And I want to thank the citizens for allowing me to be their county manager for 4 years.
Well, that does it for a talk with the county manager. You'll find this airing on WGTV Channel 10 and Channel 99, as well as YouTube. Thank you for joining us.